Hello and thanks for joining us. This is TVC News at 6. We'll begin with the news that the Central Bank of Nigeria has raised the monetary policy rate from 13% to 14%. The CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele announced this on Tuesday during the 286th meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee held in Lagos. According to him, it was the right option considering economic realities. The monetary policy rate is the main interest rate in a country or economy on which all other interest rates in that economy are based. While the Apex Bank increased the monetary policy rate, it, however, retained other parameters. A non-governmental organization has unveiled its report on the level of non-compliance by agencies of federal government to remittances of revenues. The group calls for public pressure on ministries, departments and agencies towards complying with the provisions of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. TVC News correspondent Jokia Adisa reports.
The Fiscal Responsibility Commission was established in 2007 to provide for prudent management of the nation's resources. 15 years on, the Commission is battling non-compliance with some of the provisions establishing it. This Assembly of Government Organizations, civil society groups and the media is here to hear about GIFT's contribution to the crusade for remittances of funds to government coffers by MDAs. It comes at a time the National Assembly is investigating the indebtedness to the federal government of over 2 trillion naira by MDAs.
If we know why they are defaulting, then we can ask the follow-up question. What is the authority, or what are the authorities doing about the default? Is it okay to just throw our arms in the air that revenues for public service delivery is dwindling?
With Nigeria's debt on the rise, many here insist remittance of government funds is critical to helping the nation.
We're happy that the CSOs have risen up to the occasion. We're happy that they are partnering with the governments. We continue to encourage them.
The current administration is trying everything humanly possible to ensure that all leakages as far as revenue in the public sector is concerned are blocked.
We've borrowed so much money, even though they say we've not exceeded the threshold. But it begins to put fears in the minds of people who are right thinking.
For the reviewer, the report comes handy towards seeing the desired change the nation requires.
Naira is under so much pressure, we may not even find money to borrow again. I hope we know that the Chinese funds that used to fund our infrastructure by way of borrowing from us has also dried up.
Where is the money? Catalogs the Revenue Remittance Compliance Index of 150 federal government agencies. 58 of them fared above average, 73 fell on average compliance level, while 19 were below average compliance. The report recommends, among others, that the power to enforce the Fiscal Responsibility Act be clearly bestowed on the Fiscal Responsibility Commission through an amendment to the Act stipulating sanctions and punishments for non-compliance with the provisions of the law. Jokia Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's turn to security matters. Borno State Police Command has arrested 67 suspects for illegal possession of arms and drugs across Maiduguri, the state capital. Commissioner of Police Borno State Command Abdul Umar says the arrests were made in the last 2 months in an effort to rid the state of crime. Jesse Tafida reports.
These suspects were arrested by the Nigerian police for committing various offences, ranging from being in possession of dangerous weapons and drugs suspected to be marijuana, armed robbery and rape.
For security of lives,
Parading the suspect before newsmen in Maiduguri, the police public relation officer ASP Sani Shatambaya disclosed that 11 among the suspects were arrested for armed robbery and house burglary in various parts of the state. He reveals that the suspect had been using the weapons to cause public disturbance with threats to people's lives.
This is not unconnected with the gallantry and unwavering efforts of the personnel of the command, as well as the information provided by some good citizens of the state. I urge the members of the public to cooperate with the police and other security agencies in order to deliver our mandate.
The police, in collaboration with personnel of NDLEA, arrested other suspects for being in possession of dangerous drugs.
Suspects being caught in possession of drugs suspected to be Indian hemp are unfortunately mostly youths who are supposed to channel their energy and ability toward a profitable venture. We shall continue to reiterate the fact that Borno State Police Command is working hard to ensure that the state is not a safe haven for criminals and unguided elements. No criminal in the state will go unpunished.
The police noted with concern the growing number of youths being in possession of dangerous weapons, causing life-threatening injury to some unsuspecting members of the public. The suspects will be charged to court after preliminary investigations are completed. The police express its commitment to tackle crime in the state. Chelsea Tafida, TVC News, Maiduguri.
And 5 days after two Catholic priests were abducted by gunmen in Kaduna State, one of them was found dead and while the other regained freedom. Both priests were kidnapped at Christ the King Catholic Church in Lere local government area on Friday. Security operatives who were on a mission to rescue the priests say the remains of Reverend Father John Mark Chetnam was found at a farm in a nearby village and has been deposited at a morgue in Zonkowa. Meanwhile, Reverend Father Donatus Cleopas, who reportedly regained freedom, has been taken to the Kafanchan Catholic Diocese in Jema local government area. The incident comes barely a month after another Catholic priest was killed on his farm by armed bandits. The Kaduna police authorities are, however, yet to acknowledge the incident. In Imo State, residents of Oru West and Oru East local government areas have protested the alleged gruesome killing of over 10 youths of Otulu community by a security team suspected to be members of the Imo State-owned security outfit, Ebubeagu. The youth were said to have been killed at Awumama while returning from a traditional marriage. The protesters blocked Owerri Onitsha Road, calling for the disbandment of the security outfit. In a viral video circulating on social media, the indigents of the community were seen conveying the dead bodies of the youth to the market square in wheelbarrows in a protest to the killing. But in a swift reaction, the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, while briefing journalists shortly after the weekly Security Council meeting at Government House Owerri, said those killed were bandits. According to him, the operation was carried out by the operatives of the DSS, who stormed the bandits' hideout in the area following intelligence reports.
There is a team who then brought out named Ebubeagu, and that Ebubeagu have been killing. When they come where they are doing occasion, they will begin to shoot paradically, killing people.
Oru as large, both Oru East and Oru West, we are all here gathered. We are not happy with what is actually happening in our land. We have been trying to deal with it, but at this juncture, we can't enjoy it anymore.
We don't want Ebubeagu again. If Ebubeagu finish our youth, we will be women. What do we go do for this town?
We just came out from a Security Council meeting where the DSS confirmed that they did the operation, and the operation has nothing to do with any wedding place. They went to a camp, and they went to the camp with a pointer who is a member of the gang, and they caught some people. And the people are currently with the Department of DSS. Yes, they killed some people. But those were also bandits, but we are waiting for detailed report. This is the interim report given to us in the Security Council.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's now turn to Ondo State, where business and social activities were disrupted for several hours in Idori local government area as farmers took to the streets of Idori and Alade Idori, protesting the alleged sales of their farms. Armed with placards with different inscriptions, the farmers blocked the road and urged government to rescind its decision. The angry farmers said the state government collected levy from them annually and tax on farm produce on a yearly basis. They accused the government of allegedly selling the farms located in Forest Reserve in Ofosu to foreign companies. The action, they say, will render many farmers jobless.
We have been paying our tax because he do tax us every year. So we have been paying our tenement rate on this forest reserve because he allowed us to be farming in the reserve. we plant cocoa, we plant plantain in the farm. So it is unfortunate that this year, the work we have been working, the labor we have been laboring for the past 30 years in forest reserve, as you know, that cocoa plantation is not something that you can plant this year and harvest this year.
To our great surprise now, we are encroaching this reserve since 1988, that we have been there farming, doing planting cocoa. Then for our living, that is what we are doing for our survival. But to our great surprise now, bulldozers have started working there. Not that we assume it has started working since day before yesterday. It has started working, bulldozing all our cocos. Even if we are tenant in a place, we must be given a notice, a quick notice.
For cocoa, this is Cocoa Town, and we contribute, in 2021, we contributed 36.7% to GDP of Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes.
And today, in that forest reserve we are talking about, we are more than 2 million there, feeding more than 16 million people. Our family, apart from the workers.
Meanwhile, the Ondo state government said the displaced farmers will be integrated for better yields and improved income. The senior special assistant to Ondo State Governor on Agriculture, Akin Olotu, condemned the insinuations of the alleged sales of the farmlands by the state government. He said the land belonged to the state government, stressing that government has designed a program to bring farmers of same produce together as a cluster, like how it is being practiced in developed countries.
We have interfaced with the farmers, with the traditional rulers, and a lot of people there. Some of them are just of the opinion that, well, it is their ancestral land. I don't know anything about ancestral land. But what I know is that government reserve is government reserve. If you go there without government permission, you are over 2,000 hectares approved for them as an enclave, where they are able to do their farming. That is number one. Number two, there is no going back on the issue of the oil palm. We need to reconstruct the economy of the state if we are going to be able to meet our financial needs.
And now to politics. The Northern Young Professionals for Tinubu, NYPT, has called on the Northern electorate to support the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in next year's election. The group also educated the people on the need to urgently register and collect their permanent voters' cards on time in preparation for the general elections. And TVC News Kano correspondent Ibrahim Isa reports.
Nigeria! Nigeria!
The 2023 general election is fast approaching and political activities have since commenced. In Kano, like many Nigerian states, supporters of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu are seeking more support from the electorate. The Nigerian Young Professionals for Tinubu, NYPT, have gathered to celebrate the emergence of the former governor of Lagos State as the party's presidential flag bearer. They are also happy with the emergence of Senator Kashim Shettima as his running mate and want to enlighten the electorate on the need not just to register, but to get their PVCs in readiness for the elections.
We are doing it to celebrate the emergence of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our principal, as the presidential flag bearer of our party. We are doing the second celebration to celebrate the emergence of Senator Kashim Shettima as his running mate come 2023 elections. And the third one, which is the most important, is all about creating awareness to people on the need to have their voters card.
The group's national coordinator acknowledges criticisms coming from Christians over APC's Muslim ticket, but points out that Asiwaju Tinubu's wife, who is a devout Christian and a pastor, would be a reliable representative of the people of that faith. He advises Nigerians to shun politics of religion and ethnicity and concentrate on the overall development of the country.
If you're talking of the Christian community, they are ably represented in Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's house. And if he picks a Muslim, it's because, just like I said, he doesn't look at the politics of religion or ethnicity. We're just looking at our party. Who can we have that we get that vote?
The group vowed to continue mobilizing support for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu in Kano State and beyond. They are confident that Tinubu will win next year's election based on his pedigree as a performer and talent hunter. Ibrahim Isa, TVC News, Kano.
The All Progressives Congress will unveil Senator Kashim Shettima, the running mate to his presidential candidate Bola Tinubu, on Wednesday. This is coming 5 days after the ruling party postponed the unveiling with no reason given for the shift in date. Kashim Shettima was meant to have been presented to party members at the APC National Secretariat on July the 14th, but an APC official told journalists that the event has been moved forward. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu had on July the 10th announced the ex-governor and senator representing Borno Central as his running mate in the 2023 general elections. We're staying on electoral matters, this time in the Southeast, where a coalition of non-governmental organizations are collaborating with the Independent National Electoral Commission to mobilize people in Imo State for the ongoing national voter registration exercise. The groups say they are mobilizing over 100,000 prospective voters in Imo State within the remaining 2 weeks allowed by INEC for the exercise. And TVC's Prince Oba reports.
Low numbers recorded in the ongoing voter registration exercise in the Southeast, particularly Imo State, is disturbing some non-governmental organizations. The NVDC and JDPC are raising volunteers in the state to sensitize, educate and mobilize prospective but yet to be registered voters, especially youth, to take advantage of the ongoing exercise to obtain their permanent voter card as active participants in the forthcoming 2023 general elections.
Imo State has a population of over 4 million people, but it's unfortunate that with the data available at the INEC portal, only just about 5% of that number has been captured. So we felt that there's a need for us to engage the locals in Imo State, mobilize the young people who are the future of the country, and get them to go down to the grassroots, sensitize the people, let them know what they are missing out.
For this short period of time we work assiduously. You can see something that is happening now. This is our effort. We have collaborated with some NGOs and then the INEC to make sure that we register a good number of people.
They are training volunteers who will move into the nooks and crannies of the state to register potential voters. The Independent National Electoral Commission is collaborating with the NGOs in their effort to raise volunteers.
It's a soft landing for the commission, the 2 weeks window. I think we will do great in the very hinterland within this 2 weeks window. They have the structure. We come, talk, give them information, and encourage them to move about.
The one-day sensitization program on mass voter registration, mobilization and empowerment for youth has a theme: our vote, our voice, our responsibility. Prince Oba, TVC News, Owerri.
And now to other matters. 3,000 households in Sokoto State have benefited from COVID-19 palliatives from the Victim Support Fund, a non-governmental organization. The State Commissioner for Health, Mohammed Ali Name, who represented the state governor at the flag-off of the distribution, says the gesture will go a long way in addressing challenges of the needy and less privileged beneficiaries. We have details in this report.
COVID-19 pandemic was as much an economic as it was a health crisis in Nigeria. Experts say the early part of COVID-19 crisis ushered in Nigeria to the deepest recession since the 1980s, with services and industry suffering serious setbacks. This majorly was a fallout of lockdown measures which restricted people's ability to go to work and engage in other economic transactions. For Nigeria, this period also coincided with a fall in global oil prices, which accounted for over 80% of Nigerian export and more than 50% of government revenues. These crises that led to massive job losses as well as the crippling of small and medium enterprises, exposing the weak social protection policy in Nigeria and large welfare losses. Many households were forced to adopt negative coping strategies in response to the shock that have accompanied the COVID-19 crisis. To mitigate these challenges, the Victim Support Fund is assisting a total of 3,000 households in Sokoto State. This is part of an ongoing COVID-19 task force distribution across the 33 states of the Federation and include food packs, medical materials for COVID-19 prevention, and solar power water boreholes.
So we will ensure that across the state, beneficiaries that ought to receive this thing have received it.
COVID-19 had created a lot of debilitating challenges, specifically relating to economic issues, survival, health, education.
To ensure effectiveness in distribution, members of civil society organizations in Sokoto and the state government received a palliative that will be distributed to members of communities across the 23 local governments.
Said this support will go a long way in helping the people of Sokoto State and Nigeria as a whole.
I assure you that we are going to this item will be distributed to the right household and we're going to utilize it.
The Sokoto State Commissioner for Health, Mohammed Ali Nami, appealed to members of the general public to make themselves available for the COVID-19 vaccination, which he says is the only sure way of fighting the spread of the virus.
That's the news this hour. We'll have more updates at 7. Thanks for watching.